On August 15, 1987, twin brothers Ethan and Noah Caldwell, both 8 years old, vanished during an exclusive family tour of the under-construction Kingdom Horizon Park in Valoir Valley, France. The twins had been exploring sections of the park that were still in the early stages of construction, guided by a team of engineers and supervisors when they mysteriously disappeared. Despite exhaustive searches conducted by local authorities and park security, not a single clue was found. For nearly 26 years, their disappearance remained one of the most perplexing and haunting unsolved mysteries in the history of theme park safety, resurfacing occasionally in missing children databases and security audits. It wasn't until September 2013, when maintenance crews were updating long-neglected underground systems, that a shocking discovery finally revealed the fate of the Caldwell twins, tragedy hidden beneath the park for decades. The day of August 15, 1987, began with excitement and anticipation for the Caldwell family from Bristol, England, who had won a contest granting them an exclusive preview tour of the park's unfinished sections. The family was eager to witness the creation of a magical wonderland before it opened to the public. Ethan and Noah were inseparable, adventurous twins, with a boundless curiosity that often led them into small, harmless mischief. The tour was organized by senior engineers and project supervisors, proud to show off the ambitious European park in progress. About 30 other contest winners and media representatives joined the group, eager to document the monumental project. The partially completed park presented a mesmerizing yet hazardous environment, with exposed foundations, heavy machinery, and unfinished structures. Safety warnings were issued repeatedly. Stay close, do not stray, avoid off-limit areas. But Ethan and Noah, driven by an insatiable curiosity, often wandered when something piqued their interest. Their parents repeatedly warned them to remain close, yet the twins were enthralled by the magic unfolding before them. The tour started at 10:00 a.m., with guides explaining the layout of the future park, highlighting attractions, and describing how different areas would operate once completed. By 1:15 p.m., the group stopped for lunch in a temporary dining area set up for staff and VIP visitors. The last confirmed sighting of the twins occurred shortly after, when other participants saw them near a collection of construction equipment, photographing the enormous machinery with a camera their father had given them to document the visit. When the tour resumed around 2 p.m., their mother noticed the boys were missing. Initial searches concentrated on nearby areas, but by 2:30 p.m., Disney security and local authorities were alerted. A systematic search began, covering every accessible area: unfinished buildings, storage yards, trailers, and construction sites. The vastness of the construction area complicated the search. Over 2,500 hectares were under development, featuring trenches, excavation sites, and heavy equipment. Security gaps, incomplete fencing, and unmonitored zones meant the twins could have easily wandered into a dangerous area. Despite thorough searches, no trace of the boys was found. Days passed. Helicopters scoured the skies, search dogs combed every acre, and volunteers from nearby towns joined the effort. Media coverage grew intense, and park officials flew in from the UK to coordinate with local authorities. Yet the park's security and the sheer scale of the site prevented immediate resolution. Even after months of investigation, it became clear that Ethan and Noah had likely encountered something that prevented them from returning to safety. Over the years, the case influenced the park's security policies. When Kingdom Horizon Park officially opened in 1994, discreet memorials honored the twins, though the company avoided publicizing the tragedy. Human remains were found in unrelated areas in 1996, but forensic analysis confirmed they were from an earlier historical period. The disappearance continued to haunt authorities, security professionals, and the Caldwell family, who maintained hope that one day the mystery would be solved. On September 18, 2013, a routine maintenance operation began in Kingdom Horizon Park. The utility team was tasked with updating long-overdue underground water and electrical systems in areas that had remained untouched since the park's construction over 25 years earlier. The work zone included a section beneath what had become the park's Pirates Cove attraction. Supervising the operation was Julian Moreau, an experienced construction foreman. Around 10:45 a.m., as excavation machinery dug through soil layers long settled, the team struck unexpected obstacles about 3 meters underground. What initially appeared to be buried debris soon revealed more sinister details. Fragments of clothing, small personal items, and objects that seemed distinctly modern, too recent to be historic artifacts, yet too old to be overlooked trash. Among the items was a small children's jacket, a toy compass, and a camera that clearly dated back to the late 1980s. Recognizing the potential significance, Moreau immediately halted all excavation and contacted park security and local authorities. Within hours, the site was cordoned off, and forensic experts arrived to examine the discovery. The meticulous excavation process revealed skeletal remains of 2 children, along with personal belongings that strongly suggested they were connected to the long-missing Caldwell twins. The camera, once developed, provided heartbreaking clarity. The final photos captured moments from the twins' last day, the excitement in their eyes, the awe at the construction machinery, and their fascination with the unfinished park attractions. The last images were taken directly in the area where their remains were eventually found, documenting their final hours before the tragedy. Forensic analysis confirmed the remains belonged to Ethan and Noah Caldwell, finally solving a mystery that had haunted families, authorities, and park personnel for over 26 years. Investigators determined that the boys had wandered away from the tour group, exploring restricted construction zones. They had fallen into an unmarked utility trench part of the underground infrastructure that had not been properly secured during the preview tour. The depth and unstable soil prevented them from climbing out, and subsequent backfilling as part of routine construction unintentionally concealed their remains for decades. The discovery brought immense relief and grief to the Caldwell family, providing long-awaited answers while confirming the worst fears of what the boys had encountered. The tragedy prompted a comprehensive review of construction site safety protocols across Kingdom Horizon Park and the wider amusement industry. Guidelines were updated to ensure every excavation and restricted zone was clearly marked, fully secured, and regularly inspected, particularly when civilian visitors are present. Julian Moreau and his team were commended for their vigilance and immediate reporting, which preserved critical evidence and allowed the Caldwell family to finally uncover the truth. A discreet memorial garden was established at the site within the park, honoring the twins' memory while serving as a somber reminder of the hidden dangers that can exist in construction environments. The case also emphasized the limitations of supervision, even when parents and professional guides are present. Ethan and Noah's boundless curiosity, coupled with gaps in site security, led them into a situation with fatal consequences. The 26-year delay in discovering their fate illustrated how ordinary construction activities can inadvertently obscure critical evidence, leaving questions unanswered for decades. In the wake of the tragedy, Kingdom Horizon Park and other theme park operators implemented industry-wide safety improvements, ensuring that no excavation, utility trench, or hazardous area could remain unmonitored, and that future generations of visitors would be protected from hidden dangers. The story of Ethan and Noah Caldwell remains a profound lesson about vigilance, curiosity, and the unforeseen hazards that even supervised children can encounter in seemingly magical environments. The discovery of the Caldwell twins' remains in 2013 immediately reignited public and media interest. International news outlets quickly picked up the story, framing it as one of the most haunting cold cases in recent European history. Headlines described the decades-long mystery of the missing children, highlighting both the tragic circumstances and the astonishingly delayed discovery. Local authorities, in collaboration with forensic specialists and park management, conducted a thorough reinvestigation of the original 1987 disappearance. Every piece of evidence, including photographs, clothing, and the excavated trench itself, was carefully analyzed to reconstruct the final hours of Ethan and Noah. Investigators pieced together the sequence. The twins, driven by curiosity, had strayed from their parents and tour guides, wandered into a partially obscured utility trench, and fallen victim to a tragic accident. The trench had been hidden beneath construction debris for weeks before it was filled in and covered during normal park development, which explains why earlier searches had failed to locate the boys. Interviews with former park employees revealed details previously unknown. Some workers remembered seeing 2 boys near restricted zones that day, while others admitted they had assumed the children were simply playing nearby and would be quickly retrieved by their parents. Security logs from 1987 showed incomplete perimeter checks and significant blind spots in the park layout. For the Caldwell family, the 2013 discovery brought a mixture of sorrow, relief, and an overwhelming flood of memories. Jonathan and Sarah Caldwell, the twins' parents, had never stopped hoping, traveling repeatedly to France to search for their sons and maintain contact with authorities. For nearly 3 decades, every unconfirmed sighting, every rumor, and every lead, even false ones, had reignited a glimmer of hope. The confirmation of the boys' fate allowed them to finally grieve fully, but the grief was profound and complicated by the knowledge of the accident's preventable nature. Psychologists and grief counselors involved in the case noted that the Caldwell family experienced what many long-term missing persons, families endure: a continuous oscillation between hope and despair. Each new clue, each decades-old photograph had the power to reawaken memories and trauma, sometimes bringing temporary solace, other times deep anguish. The parents' devotion to finding their children, despite the passage of time, became a story of resilience that touched many around the world. The public response to the revelation was similarly profound. Social media campaigns shared the twins' story widely, emphasizing both the need for stringent safety in public spaces and the tragic consequences of overlooked hazards. The story prompted renewed attention to construction site safety across Europe, particularly in locations open to the public. Organizations began implementing mandatory risk assessments for unfinished attractions, new policies for monitoring visitor movements, and enhanced training for staff on recognizing potential hazards, even in seemingly controlled environments. Kingdom Horizon Park, while privately mourning the tragedy, took the opportunity to transform the site of the twins' accident into a contemplative memorial garden. The garden was designed to be quiet and reflective, with subtle reminders of Ethan and Noah's adventurous spirits. Informational plaques highlighted the importance of vigilance, safety, and curiosity, serving as both tribute and cautionary lesson for future generations of park visitors. In the wake of the discovery, legal and safety experts recommended industry-wide reviews of all theme parks under construction or renovation, ensuring that hidden dangers were clearly marked and documented, that security protocols were rigorous, and that parental guidance was supplemented with professional oversight. The Caldwell twins' story ultimately became a reference case for how small oversights can have tragic consequences, even in environments designed for fun and enjoyment. The combined narrative of curiosity, adventure, tragedy, and eventual closure turned the Caldwell twins' story into a timeless cautionary tale, one that illustrated both the magic and hidden perils of imaginative worlds. While no amount of planning or security could undo what had happened in 1987, the lessons learned have since reshaped how parks worldwide manage safety, emergencies, and visitor protection. After the confirmation of Ethan and Noah Caldwell's fate, the focus shifted from mystery to reflection. Psychologists who consulted with the family noted the profound emotional impact that decades of uncertainty had on Jonathan and Sarah Caldwell. Living with unresolved questions had created an emotional strain unlike any other, affecting not only their marriage, but also their interactions with friends and extended family. The long wait for answers, the repeated false leads, and the eventual discovery created a roller coaster of grief, relief, and complex emotions that would take years to process fully. The Memorial Garden, quietly nestled within Kingdom Horizon Park, became a sanctuary of remembrance. Carefully designed pathways guided visitors past the reconstructed scene of the accident, with gentle markers illustrating the boys' love of adventure and the importance of safety. Small sculptures of playful elements, such as a tiny compass or a miniature backpack, were integrated into the landscaping, evoking the twins' spirit without overwhelming the solemnity of the site. Family members and park staff worked together to ensure the memorial remained a place of quiet reflection rather than a tourist attraction. Beyond its commemorative purpose, the case prompted systemic changes across the amusement park and construction industries. All parks under development implemented enhanced risk assessment protocols, including mandatory inspections of all trenches, foundations, and restricted areas before public access. Staff training now emphasized active monitoring, with security teams instructed to anticipate the curiosity of children and the potential for accidental wandering. Emergency response procedures were updated, ensuring immediate action could be taken should visitors enter hazardous zones, even momentarily. The Caldwell twins' story also influenced broader public awareness. Safety campaigns and educational programs highlighted the importance of vigilance, supervision, and clear communication in public spaces. Families were reminded that even magical environments could conceal hidden hazards, and that curiosity, while natural and inspiring, must sometimes be tempered by caution. For the Caldwell family, the memorial and the closure it provided did not erase the pain, but it allowed them to honor Ethan and Noah in a meaningful way. Each anniversary of the boys' birthday became a private moment of remembrance, a chance to reflect on their lives, their joy, and their untimely loss. The Memorial Garden served as a physical testament to the lessons learned, a quiet reminder that safety, attention, and care can prevent future tragedies. Today, the Caldwell twins' story stands as both a somber memorial and an instructive lesson. Their boundless curiosity, sense of adventure, and tragic accident highlight the delicate balance between exploration and safety. Kingdom Horizon Park and other amusement operators continue to apply the lessons learned, ensuring that every visitor, from the youngest child to the most avid thrill-seeker, can experience joy without hidden danger. While the park above continues to bustle with laughter and wonder, beneath the surface lies a story that shaped decades of safety measures and personal vigilance. The legacy of Ethan and Noah Caldwell endures not only in memory, but in the very protocols that protect countless others, a poignant reminder that even in worlds of imagination, real-life consequences demand respect, caution, and care.